Hello, good morning and welcome to TVAM. New studios, a new news service and a new national network. And welcome to our two main programmes, Daybreak from 6 to 7 and Good Morning Britain, of which you just saw the opening titles, from 7 to 9:15. And indeed a special thank you to everyone who made those titles possible. The 4 skydivers, the 1,000 men of HMS Hermes, the 6,000 noble citizens of Bristol on a Sunday morning, and of course the 917 pigeons in Trafalgar Square.
Hello. All 5 of us will be co-hosting Good Morning Britain during the coming year. David and I are here for the first month. During the next hour, we'll be completing our final preparations, and we look forward to welcoming you back here at 7 for a programme that we hope will be full of surprises for you and sometimes, no doubt, for us too.
In the meantime, from 6 to 7 every day, Daybreak, which Angela and I will be taking in turns to present this month. Daybreak will come to you from our newsroom upstairs, and in fact I look forward to bringing you the latest from TVAM News in a couple of minutes, with further news reports after Daybreak in Good Morning Britain.
For the first few months, I'm going to be presenting our programmes at the weekend. On Saturdays, we'll be taking a relaxed look at sport, movies and the whole world of entertainment and leisure. On Sundays, we'll look back at the week and ask people with a point of view what they made of it. We've not forgotten the children either, as you'll see if you spend the weekend in our company.
And that really is the basic plan. We're now about to take our first commercial break. And on this occasion, the proceeds won't be coming to us here at TVAM. Instead, we're donating them to a charity for the mentally handicapped, one which we feel that we'd all like to support. After that, well, as you've just heard, we'll be underway with Daybreak. And indeed, my colleague Robert has now just left us here in the main Good Morning Britain studio and is winging his way up to the newsroom, and he'll be with you in just a moment. After that, of course, there's Good Morning Britain. Finally, we'd just like to say thanks very much for joining us this morning on what's obviously a very, very important day for us. And we do hope that you're going to stay tuned to us, not just for this morning's programmes, but every morning, every day of the week, at least for the next 8 years. Good Morning Britain.
Morning, I'm Ian Melrose, I'm from Walls, and I'd like to welcome you to Walls Breakfast Television. It's my job to make sure there's plenty for everyone. We'll feature some big and tasty names, so make sure you tune in to Walls Sausages and Bacon. No other breakfast television tastes as good.
Hello, good morning if you've just joined us. It's just after 6 on Tuesday the 1st of February, and this is Daybreak. The main news headlines this morning. Well, there's no Russian reaction so far, even though it's now 9 o'clock in Moscow, to President Reagan's offer to scrap all intermediate land-based nuclear missiles. The water strike, well, there's some faint hiss of hope there, with the conciliation services offering some new proposals. A Labour MP is saying that the Argentine exocets, which did us so much damage in the Falklands, could have contained components from up to 40 British firms, and we'll be getting a report from him. And we have a report on that 8-year-old Eastbourne boy with cancer of the spine who had an operation in America and is now back. The weather, well, the weather seems to be rather windy and wintry throughout. But in this quarter of an hour or so, we'll be taking a more detailed look at the weather over the whole of the country, with particular attention to farmers, and we'll have special news for farmers. But first of all, a general look at the main national and international news. As I say, the Soviet Union has not reacted yet to President Reagan's offer to meet the Soviet leader, Mr. Andropov, to sign an agreement banning all medium-range land-based nuclear weapons. The offer of a summit meeting was made in an open letter to the people of Europe by the American Vice President George Bush at a dinner in West Berlin last night. And from Berlin, Tony Cattrall reports. In case you hadn't noticed, and I don't really see how you could help it, television history is being made at this very moment. TVAM is on the air, ITV's first ever breakfast programme. One of the first people to offer his congratulations this morning was Lord Thompson, who is chairman of the Independent Broadcasting Authority.
From TVAM News, it's a very important day for us. How do you rate it?
Very important day for independent broadcasting, and I wish you every possible success.
Can we ask you, sir, are you going to be a breakfast television viewer?
Yes, I will be a regular breakfast television viewer. I'm kitting myself out with a portable television set, especially to lie in bed and look at you.
Well, our special telephone lines will be open while TVAM is on the air, and anyone who'd like to make any comment on us or find out more about any of the items in this program can ring this number. It is 01, that is if you're outside London, 01 404 0401. Now let's hear about farming from Barry Wilson.
Thank you, Robert.
This time.
Wake up to what Pi is doing. The Pi Tube Cube, your next clock radio, cassette recorder and breakfast TV, all in one. The Pi Tube Cube. Clock radio, cassette recorder and breakfast TV, all in one. Wake up to what Pi is doing.
Hello, good morning if you've just joined us. It's 6:15 on Tuesday, February the 1st. And this is Daybreak. And in this quarter of an hour, we'll be having the news, the sport, and the weather. First of all, though, a look at the news of the morning. There's no reaction yet to the offer by President Reagan. Hello again, good morning if you've just joined us. It's 6:45, this is Daybreak, and in a quarter of an hour's time, of course, we'll be coming up with Good Morning Britain with David Frost and Anna Ford. In this quarter of an hour, let's look at the weather in full, and we'll have some news of the city and world markets overnight. But first of all, a look at the major news stories at home and abroad. Well, at home, it's obviously the water strike and Anna Ford, and Daybreak will be back, of course, tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, and we look forward to seeing you then. Goodbye.
Wake up to what Pi is doing.
A little extra help from the Halifax.
Good morning, welcome to Good Morning Britain for the very first time after months, years of preparation. We have at last what we've always wanted, you, a real audience. The first Good Morning Britain, and let's hope the first of very many.
It's Tuesday, February the 1st, obviously an historic day for us here at TVAM, and we hope a day that at least has an interesting start for everyone watching. We also hope you'll enjoy watching until 9:15, which is when we go off the air.
And although it's our first day and therefore a very special one for us, we don't want to make too much of a fuss because there's so much news. The government is advising householders to remember to boil water before pouring it over the head of the nearest water worker. All the same, we'll have some surprises during the show. We'll have one of the surprises is John Cleese, which I suppose makes him not a surprise anymore.
You spoiled it now. You spoiled it completely. In news terms, there are a number of major stories, and we'll be pursuing them with, amongst others, a cabinet minister and a senior trade unionist. But first, let's actually find out what the news is. Robert Key is standing by upstairs in our newsroom.
Well, it's just after 7 o'clock here, of course. It's just after 10 o'clock in Moscow. There's still no reaction from the Soviet Union to President Reagan's cross right away. Down over to David.
Thank you very much, Robert. Maybe a moment or two before I can take the call personally and so on. Did you think in that earlier story that there's any hope in that Reagan initiative, or more of the same, Robert?
I think it's frightfully difficult to work out, isn't it, how much of this is real, how many of these offers made by either side are real offers, or how much they're really sort of preliminary moves in a chess game, the crunch of which is going to come much later.
Thank you, Robert. Right now, a moment of true authority, because for our weather, we're going to go over, the whole nation becomes a vast ship. And we're going to go over to a man who knows he's on jankers if he gets any of it wrong. Commander Philpott.
We're going to bring order to the weather today, David. Thank you very much indeed. In spite of which, that is...
Very much indeed. We'll take a break there.
Thank you.
Could you imagine life without newspapers? Wouldn't you miss the crossword and page 3? What's on at the cinema, the share prices, the race cards, the cartoons, the stars, the sport, the pulls, and the news, of course, in depth and in detail. Oh, and there's one other nice thing about a newspaper too. Now, what was it? Pick up the news on a portable, buy a newspaper.
Morning, I'm Ian Melrose.
It's just after 9 o'clock, and unfortunately there are only 15 minutes left of this, our first Good Morning Britain. Time enough for one more goodie for the women in our audience, some beefcake, American style. First though, some beefcake, British style, Robert Key with the news.
Thanks, Anna. Hello. Unemployment's going to be the most important issue in the next general election.
So that he could get money to pay for a trip to the European Court of Justice. Isn't that a sweet, sweet reason to do that for? How are things upstairs this morning, Robert?
Oh, fast and furious. Very enjoyable. I enjoyed watching you down here too, very much.
We enjoyed it enormously. I must say I haven't had such a nice morning for a long time.
I know, that's the feeling. I mean, I'd be happy for the show to go on just among ourselves, which I guess is the way it should be, isn't it?
Yes, well, we might go and have breakfast or something, don't you think?
I'm sure it'll be the same way at weekends.
Oh, it'll be full of verve and vigour and vim at weekends.
Oh, that?
No, absolutely. And male pin-ups and all that sort of... The meaning of life as viewed from the weekends.
Well, we're right at the end of the programme, so we'd just like to thank you for joining us this morning, and if it's all right with you, we'd like to come again tomorrow. Good morning.